So we are wrapped days 1 and 2 of the 2020 UEFA Euros. They're done, and the results are, of course, in. First of all, I'd just like to say it is so much fun getting to watch football again. Even though it's only been a couple of weeks since the Champions League final, it's really good be able to watch football again. So let's jump, I guess, straight into it. Day 1 had the opener Turkey versus Italy, with Italy coming out on top 3-0. A dominant performance by Italy, let's be real. They, obviously, on paper, they're the much stronger side than Turkey. I picked them to do pretty well on this tournament, and that performance shows why that is, basically. Let's look at the stats. Only 63% possession for Italy. I thought they did a lot more, but I mean, Turkey didn't get a shot on target and only had 3 shots to Italy's 24 with 8 on target. I think going forwards for Turkey, obviously their realistic aspirations were never going to be that high. Getting out of the group stage was probably the biggest aim, and then maybe get into the quarterfinals. So on the basis of coming up quite short against Italy, it kind of just cements their place. So if they thought maybe they could be, maybe they could be serious challengers, I think it's lowered the expectations down a little bit. And I think in terms of the realistic aspirations, I don't think it hurts Turkey that much, because they've still got in their group, they should still be quite high out there favourites to still progress out of it. Italy were by far and beyond I'm sure the favourites in that group, in Group A. So I think for Turkey, it doesn't do too much for them in terms of their aspirations. For Italy, it's a step in the right direction. It's shown with that result that they really should be looking at doing very well in this tournament. Turkey was one of those teams that they should have beaten, and they exceeded expectations, I think. So going forwards, Italy are one to look out for. Same. And then going on to day 2. First up, we had Wales versus Switzerland. This, which ended 1-1 in a draw. So it kind of almost felt a little bit like the Italy-Turkey game, because Switzerland were dominant. They were pinning Wales back throughout the game, basically. And Switzerland, yeah, they had 64% possession, so they even had more than Italy did against Turkey. But yeah, I think the commentators said it best, but this was really a 0.1 for Wales. They did have 9 shots, but they were very far and beyond through those chances. So I think Switzerland will be disappointed that they didn't come out of this game better. But when you're looking at it, I think it's big encouragement. I didn't even realize Switzerland have such a nice team. That their front two of Embolo and Seferovic, amazing. The first half, Seferovic had 2, decent half chances. He had the touch and swivel with his left foot, and then the right foot after a little bit of dribble. Both in the first half, and then the second half, Embolo was terrific. Showed that pace and power to get himself a really good chance that possibly should have scored, but then straight away scored that corner where he just outmuscled the defender. It was almost looked like bullying at that point. So I think going forwards, Wales, that's not something. That's not a result that you want to that you think is going to do them well. That it's kind of just that it's almost like a fluke. They didn't have anything really. They scored from a corner. It was a really well worked corner. I'm sure it was they've practiced that one before, but yeah, I think for their aspirations, Wales probably should have done a lot better against Switzerland. So obviously it's only one game, but I think warning signs for Wales, in my opinion. Switzerland, however, amazing. I think you can put it down for them just on an off night in terms of the finishing, why they only finished with one goal and conceded that corner. But I think going forwards, they'll take confidence from this result. They can dominate games. They can show their quality. And yeah, I think Switzerland will surprise me. I think they could do very well in this tournament. Skipping ahead to our final game was Belgium versus Russia. All I just want to say is I told you so. Lukaku was amazing. Got basically two chances the entire game and finished with 2 goals. He punished Russia's first mistake. I don't know why they were appealing for offside. The defender messed up and passed it to Lukaku, but even like just that finish alone just shows his quality. That's why he's going to be fantastic this tournament. And then the goalkeeper palmed it to Meunier in the first half as well. And then as the momentum was shifting, maybe they could mount an attack. Meunier just dribbles through and passes it through to Lukaku. First time finished, easy as you like. Overall, however, it wasn't that impressive a performance for Belgium. It wasn't like they absolutely suffocated Russia and Russia had no chance. I mean, to be fair, Russia only had five shots, but it felt a lot more than that. It felt like Russia were momentum multiple times throughout that game, and that Belgium was just holding on and then smashing them on the counter. So I think if you're a team like France or Portugal or Germany, you watch that Belgium performance, yes, they won 3-0, but it doesn't scare you that much because 2 of their goals came from mistakes. 1 of their goals came from came in the 88th minute. Like, it was a good performance by Belgium. It was a very ruthless and professional performance, but it wasn't a suffocating, dominant win that I'm sure you'd expect from Belgium. In terms for Russia, it's a weird one because, like I said, they had momentum and moments of doing very well against the world number 1, but they still were making those mistakes. They were making those mistakes that gifted Belgium those goals, basically. So I think it's a weird one because your confidence is going to be lowered because you're making mistakes, but then your confidence is going to be higher because you made a difficult game for Belgium, basically. So I think Russia they shouldn't knock themselves too much because they lost to the world number 1s, but I think they should be fine of getting out of this group. I think in terms of their squad, they've still got quality in it. So yeah, moving forwards, maybe all right, maybe not so much. Then, of course, the final match was Denmark versus Finland, where Finland won 1-0. Obviously, the elephant in the room was Eriksen. That was scary, bro. those were scary scenes. The only thing positive I can take away is almost thankful that he was getting thrown the ball when he collapsed, because if it was the ball's up there and then he's over here on his own, and yeah, that could have been a lot worse. And I think I'm very grateful and hope all the best for Eriksen, and hope he'd recover as well. In terms of the match though, my morals have two sides right now. You've got one of course, Denmark, they're not going to play their best because that's got to mess them up. I get that. I don't get, but everyone's going to be messed up because of that. Like, even Lukaku, when he scored, he basically dedicated his goal out to Meunier. It affected everyone, especially those in the match. So the Finland and Denmark players, even the referees, the supporters, everyone. It would mess them up a little bit. But especially for Denmark, because it's your teammate, it's your brother that's just had that happen to you. So it's like, you can't really think too much into that performance because it's so fresh. But then again, you can't completely negate the match and not give your praise to Finland, because I think the referee said it was their first ever goal in a major tournament, which means it was their first ever win. Like, as much as you have to pay respects and understand the circumstances, you got to praise Finland. They withstood a lot of pressure, and they had one shot and one shot on target and one goal, and it was a very good header, close to the keeper, headed it straight down, bounced and Schmeichel got through him. Could Schmeichel have done better for the goal? Of course. Was it his fault? No, of course not. It was a difficult shot to stop. I think very few goalkeepers would have saved that. But it's a weird one. I don't want to take too much from it. Denmark, obviously, they had the chances. They had a lot more of the chances. In terms of possession, yeah, they had 70% of the possession. They were pinning Finland back the entire time, and it was just a matter of they couldn't get that finishing touch. With the circumstances and I think how the game actually went, you're not too worried if you're Denmark in terms of performances. If you're talking strictly football, you're not too worried if you're a Denmark player. For Finland, it's amazing. I don't think anyone would have thought anything of Finland to get a result anywhere really. So I think it's amazing for them. I still don't think Finland are going to progress through. I'm still sticking with Denmark to do well. But yeah, it's a real weird one for that game there. But again, of course, Eriksen, I just really hope you're okay. That's a scary image that's stuck in my mind for a little bit. But yeah. Anyway, that's what we got. See ya.